Wow, what a wild few months. In the last episode we had the Germans appear. The German problem, as I like to call it. An alliance by the name of Woohoo Co came along and decided that J161628 was theirs. Fair enough. But then Ronin 1 came along and said that the system is theirs. Right. By the end of all of that, we ended up with a ceasefire between Occulta Navis and Woohoo Co. I also did a bit of exploration and PvP, popping a few frigates here and there. Sorry guys. But what about today? What does J161628 look like today? Well, for starters, our relationship with Ronin is great. So great, in fact, that they gave us an Athanar. That's now been anchored and is in use. After a short while, we also decided to get an Astra House in place and declare the system a free port. An industrialist came along and turned the Athanar into a reaction powerhouse and paid for the privilege too, which was very nice of them. And a few well-wishers came along and actually not only gave us the thumbs up and a few kind words, but also ISK. People really like a free port. Well, it wasn't long before that drew the attention of Woohoo Co, who promptly started attacking people in the system. At one point, an Astero from Woohoo Co attacked our industrialist friend while he was mining. Not knowing who it was, I just swooped in with my Tengu and I popped their Astero near instantly, but the pod got away. Well, Woohoo Co didn't like that, declared it an act of war and escalated the situation by building a player-owned starbase, a D-star to be precise. The meaning of the letter D is left as an exercise for the viewer. Clearly they didn't understand the rules of a free port. You don't attack people in the system. After a very short period of time, Woohoo Co escalated into the occasional pillow fight, but eventually they reinforced some Pocos and both of our upwells. Now they had truly escalated the situation and a few fights started to break out. The annoying thing about these fights is the fact that I wasn't around to witness or record them. I was travelling in the UK at the time. I was, however, around for the upwell timers, and as they got close, 3 previous Poco timers expired and they were killed. They've since been replaced by 3 Woohoo Co Pocos. It's very naughty. During the defense for one of the Pocos, a random group came into the system, saw the fight and offered to help out. Sadly, as they were defending a Poco and almost winning as well, an alliance called Sleeper Protocol swooped in with a 20+ HECAF fleet and basically deleted them. Whoops. Surprisingly though, the Sleeper Protocol fleet then just warped off and left the system. They must have been waiting at the HiSec connection, but we never really confirmed this. They didn't get involved at all after that, and we sort of just let Woohoo Co do their thing. Eventually a ceasefire was organised before the upwell timers came into effect. Essentially, Woohoo Co didn't want strangers in the system as they believed it impacted the PI. I guess that's true. If a lot of players mine a planet, its resources do drain, I believe. But overall, in a wormhole, PI can be quite safe as long as you're doing things correctly. Anyway, we came to an agreement. We'll set each other and a few other corporations as amber, or blue but not red, and we'd steer clear of each other and leave each other alone. Ideally, we wanted the system to be considered not red don't shoot or NRDS, but Woohoo Co wouldn't work with us on that one. We have a ceasefire in place as of today, but ultimately I think they're just being bullies and upholding a poor form. Evicting in wormholes is a thing, of course, but their tactics lack class. For example, they've set their taxes to 100% on their Pocos and refused to set them to 0%, despite the fact we're willing to do that for them. Oh well. Enough of that. The Freeport idea is on hold for the time being, and the system is currently in a sort of lockdown. It's not a friendly, welcoming place anymore, but we'll get there eventually. In better news, we've continued and successfully recruited new members. We're now a Corp of 4, which means we've gone from playing EVE on ultra difficulty to now playing it on only slightly less ultra difficulty. Living in a wormhole is hard, and J161628 is no exception to this, especially given the current situation we're in. But it's all content and it's all fun as hell. Oh, and this one time I turned the clone bay off in the Athanar because we'd actually got the Astra House up and running, and I deleted the clone with crystals in it worth about 600 million. Whoops, sorry dude. For now, our focus is on building ISK reserves and recruiting more members. We're also working on our relationships with other corps, especially defensive fleets, the corps that are interested in being defensive fleets especially. You know why. For the time being though, that's all I've got to report back on. Come and join us if you're interested in helping out. Stay away if you're interested in being a nuisance. Or send ISK if you want to see Woohoo Co. eventually get a nasty surprise. Goodbye for now.